Mario, without a doubt, has the most fan games out there at this point. Besides maybe Sonic, there's absolutely no one rivaling this very red man. In fact, there are so many Mario fan games that subgenres have begun to form. Kaizo Mario, Mario 64 ROM hacks, a lot of games based on Mario All-Stars for some reason, and of course, the subgenre I just can't seem to stay away from, Mario horror games. I've talked about Mario horror games quite a few times on this channel, which you should go watch, but when I first covered some back in 2023, I had no clue just how vast the world of scary Italians really was. This fairly niche category of fan games has come quite a long way, from a select few ROM hacks and EXE games to a whole flourishing community. Mario fan games based on horror seem to be here to stay, and I'm all for it. So, to celebrate Mario Day, which is probably past by now, what is it, like the 12th or 13th? I don't know. I thought it'd be fun to once again take a look at a handful of unique Mario horror games. And you may have noticed if you're a fan of the channel, but I like to give most games their own videos nowadays. There's so many cool horror fan games out there that deserve more than to be squished into a 30-minute long video. However, there's also a lot of horror fan games that I can't really see getting their whole own video, due to length or lack of depth. And that's where this video comes in. I've got 6 more Mario horror games picked out to play and discuss, 3 ROM hacks and 3 regular games. Balance things out, you know? I tried to pick some fairly interesting ones, so sorry to everyone who wanted me to cover like 3 remakes of mario.exe, it ain't happening. I'm also not so sure if I'm gonna do another video like this again, at least for Mario. There's only so many times I can do the exact same video. I feel like a trilogy is a good place to cap it off for now. But hey, maybe I'll do something like rank all the Mario horror games one day or something. That'd be pretty cool. It would melt me into the pavement, but still pretty cool. Some of these games you may have heard of, some of them maybe you haven't, and some of these will scar you for life. So without further ado, let's get into the wacky, crazy, and downright kinda terrifying world of Mario horror games. And let's ease into this a bit by starting with one that you may already know about. Okay, I had to like triple check my channel, but I guess I've never fully talked about I Hate You before. And this is arguably one of the most popular Mario horror games out there. Hell, one of the most popular gaming creepypastas out there. Speaking of gaming, a quick announcement. Next month, I'm gonna be a guest at the video game convention Midwest Gaming Classic. I may or may not be doing a silly little panel there too, so if you want to come see me ramble some more, or you just want to go to a cool convention where most people know what Bubsy is, come check it out. I'll be there from April 5th to April 6th. I'm not sponsored, but I'll leave the website's link in the description for more info. Back to the video. I Hate You was a creepypasta created by Slime Beast at some point in the mid-2010s. I can't find an exact date, but games were made about it starting in 2015, so let's go with 2015. It was supposed to be a parody of all those bad, haunted game creepypastas, where the author finds a hidden path in Mario World that's absolutely horrifying. I guess people didn't get the memo that it was a parody, me included. This image of melted Luigi haunted me. Fun fact, Slime Beast also wrote Abandoned by Disney, so they can write a good creepypasta, guys, don't you worry. Anyways, the story was popular enough to get 2 equally as popular fan games. There was a ROM hack made by Ursanio and an EXE game made by the Ohm guy. We'll be playing the ROM hack because it's just objectively better. The EXE version will be brought up again though. Unfortunately. The game starts up and yep, that's classic Super Mario World, alright. Such a great game. Ahead of its time, too. I mean, it even predicted websites. Why don't more people talk about that? I'm gonna do my best not to bring up the creepypasta much while talking about this game. I'm gonna try and treat it as its own entity. For all you know, this is just regular Super Mario World. Ignore the melted Luigi I showed you like a minute ago. After the intro, you're immediately thrown forward in the game to the level Sunken Ghost Ship. Everything's fairly normal, that is except for this blind Boo blocking the pipe. Also, yes, before you ask, I did manage to die at least once here. Wouldn't be a Mario game if I didn't die to the easiest thing imaginable. You're forced to use the keyhole to beat the level, opening an alternate path on the map. It's just a shame that you don't get to enjoy finding this secret, as the alternative path is just hell. The now evil map opens up a new level for you, titled Oh God No. Does this imply that there's Christianity in the Mario universe? Wait, that's why they pray in Mario Party Jamboree. See, there's the rosary in Wario's hands. Plunging into your watery grave, the level starts with you trapped in a small tunnel. Eyeless boos watch on as you traverse straight through the darkened path. Wait, how the hell are they watching me? All of a sudden, a bloody bullet bill comes rushing towards you. Oh, I meant a bonsai bill. I'm so sorry. The last thing I need is a bunch of sentient bullets coming to kick my ass. Invincibility kicks in just in time, which is explained in the story as you using a Game Shark code, but just, I guess don't question it here. As you go through the tunnel, bloody messages appear on the wall like, "Why won't you die?" and the titular, "I hate you." More blind boos, some giant boos with really detailed throats, I don't like that, and you reach a pipe. Now in a new area of the castle, a new tunnel with new challenges presents itself. This part is a breeze though, you know, with the whole you being a filthy cheater and everything. Forget whoever wrote that message before. I hate you now. Swim past some bloody thwomps, some Mario corpses, and you reach yet another pipe. I love these guys. They can't kill you, so they just kind of take a little swim with you. Nothing like splashing around with rotting corpses of your past lives. One last hallway separates you from the end, but next to the boss door is a really strange looking mushroom. I know I said I wouldn't mention the story much, but I do want to note that in the creepypasta, when the author comes across this mushroom, he says, and I quote, "I didn't touch that shit." This left the mushroom as a mystery, and being the fungi guy myself, you know I had to touch the thing that would probably kill me. Touching it does kill you, showing you the words "you're next," with of course the classic Kefka laugh playing. It then brings you back to a now bloody version of the world map. Not a horrible use of the shroom, but this is where the EXE version of I Hate You comes back with a vengeance. This is definitely the biggest difference between the two versions, and the reason that the EXE game is so infamous. I already gave a flashing lights warning, but I'm gonna say it again, because when you pick up the mushroom in the EXE version, this happens. What the hell was that? Did I have a stroke? Did my life flash before my eyes? I really hope it didn't, because it'd be pretty damn sad if the highlights of my life were Jeff the Killer and Scary Mickey Mouse. You arrive at the final boss, none other than Luigi? Egads, my own brother! Luigi's pissed about, I don't know, being green or something, and decided to team up with Bowser, but he's tired of waiting. Health bars appear on screen as you now have to fight Luigi. This is the only real gameplay in I Hate You, and it's actually not too bad. His attacks all consist of different types of fire. It's pretty annoying at first, but if you can memorize the patterns, you can beat him pretty easily. Once defeated, Luigi slumps over onto the ground as you're given the cape power-up. You walk up to your brother, knock him into the lava, and watch him as he burns to death. Mario cries in the story, but here he's just completely stone-faced as the screen goes black. Not a thought going on in that head, huh, buddy? The game comes to an end as you're left on this new haunting end screen. Okay, unironically, this is fucking hilarious. Luigi is charred to a crisp, but still happy as can be. Mario is goddamn furious about it, and Peach is sobbing uncontrollably. I think I need an oil painting of this image in my house. And that marks the end of the popular I Hate You ROM hack. It was a neat little experience, not great, not terrible. It wasn't exactly super engaging, the gameplay was limited to a single boss fight, and it turned me into a filthy criminal. On the other hand, I do like some of the unique sprite work here, the end image is ever so slightly unsettling, and it's overall a very faithful recreation of the creepypasta. It was also one of those Mario horror creepypastas or games to be revived by the Friday Night Funkin' mod, Mario's Madness, so it's got a whole new audience now. You kids will never understand the trauma that that mushroom caused. I can't even look at a mushroom the same anymore. Now, in that game, Luigi was the bad guy, but in this next one, he is in fact the good guy, and also the bad guy. It'll make sense, trust me. Next up is another classic Mario horror game, but one I don't see nearly as talked about these days. Luigi Insanity was a Mario fan game created for Halloween 2014 by LSF Games, who goes by Lily now. I found out about this game when Peanut Butter Gamer talked about it back in 2016? Oh my god, I remember the day he dropped this video. What happened to the years? Fun fact, the developer who worked on this also is the one who made the Super FNAF fan games. Anyways, although it's a short experience, I really like this game. Part of that is because it's like the only Luigi's Mansion horror game. There's barely any fan games of this franchise as it is, let alone ones that prioritize horror. But somehow, there's still multiple fan games about Mario and Five Nights at Freddy's. Sorry, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, that's right, the Scary Luigi game. That mushroom from earlier gave me brain fog, my bad. We open up on Luigi being frightened awake by some lightning, and according to this narration, it would be a night he wouldn't forget. Gallivanting around the house for a bit, you get a call from Professor Egad. He's the guy from Luigi's Mansion, by the way. You know, the guy. He appears to be in some sort of trouble, so begrudgingly, Luigi ventures off to another haunted mansion in the rain. This is also a good point to talk about the graphics. They look really solid. I think it absolutely nails that whole Luigi's Mansion kind of Twilighty vibe in a 2D art style. I don't know if this Luigi sprite is original or not, but he's looking dapper. Luigi finally approaches the mansion as the real game now begins. The whole shtick of this game is to investigate items around the various rooms and just try to navigate. Luigi's always got something to say about the items, generally positive. I'm glad he doesn't, I don't know, have a burning hatred for plastic plants. That'd be crazy. As you explore this first room, Egad calls you to warn you of a ghost roaming around the mansion. Also, he says, thank God. See, even more proof that Christianity is in the Mario universe. Hell, Luigi said it earlier when he was burning. That's 3 points on the Jesus meter. Besides interacting with objects, this is the other big part of the gameplay. Twice in the game, there are these scripted segments where you have a short amount of time to hide from the ghost. You're given multiple choices, but some may lead to your untimely doom. Now, is that the ghost Luigi, or is that me after I die? Or does nothing happen when he finds me and he kinda just looks on in shame? After surviving the first encounter, you can move forward. Also, I love the blaring clock tower music when you hide. One day, I'll make a super long clock tower video, I swear. For a little while, the game is pretty straightforward. You have to solve some puzzles to advance, and to do this, you have to interact with everything that you see. It's dark in the library, so you have to find matches to light a candle. You can then look for a secret passageway by pulling on a random book. A part of the floor falls, so you need to find a way across. Your solution is to find a chainsaw, saw off a portion of a bookshelf and use it to walk across. There's not really much happening in this part of the game. It's just some standard puzzle solving that's not really engaging to talk about. This is honestly getting kind of boring to talk about. I wish something like a random meteor with no story relevance would just come crashing through the walls and kill Luigi instantly. I didn't mean it. At some point, Luigi decides that he wants to fix a telescope, and when he does, he looks through to see a meteor getting closer and closer until it strikes the building. No, he doesn't die, I was just being silly. He does get a key though. Now, why does a random ass meteor strike the mansion? Who knows, it's cool, so I don't care. After all that hoopla, you could finally enter this locked room, which is the bathroom. Once again, you've got to hide from the ghost Luigi, but this time, there's only two hiding spots, the bathtub and the toilet. Now, think logically here. The bathtub is the easiest hiding spot, hands down. All you gotta do is lay down and you're safe. Also, there's no way in hell I'm gonna skibbity hop my way into that toilet. Bathtub it is. Yeah, no, I take it back. Kill this guy with a meteor. Turns out the toilet is where Luigi can fit into, not the big-ass bathtub. After successfully hiding, Ghost Luigi says, "Oh, that's real nice," and flushes you into the sewers. Make your way through the dark sewer, enter the mansion with a key you find sitting on top of a tree, and continue on. Oh, also I forgot to mention, the clock's been ticking this whole time. It's not really relevant, but like, it's there. I hope at 6 we get a little hooray. Going up the elevator, you encounter a little ghostly fella. He chases you down the hallway until he's finally defeated when he runs into sunlight. Wait, hold up. It was dark like 5 seconds ago. How did it get sunny? EGAT is safe. The King DDD theme is blasting in the background for some reason, and the credits roll. Hold on. Graphics done by human? That's exactly what someone who wasn't a human would say. I bet it's a gorilla or something. Luigi's Insanity was a breath of fresh air in the Mario horror genre. Well, I mean a breath of fresh air nowadays. This game came out in 2014. There was like 3 Mario horror games back then. I love the aesthetic of this game. Once again, Luigi's Mansion needs more fan games. There's so much more potential for that over bloody scary Mario. The gameplay does get a little repetitive in the middle, having you just click until you find your solution. However, the hiding scenes and some of the puzzles are pretty engaging, at least for a 20-minute game. Yeah, this was a short one, so I wasn't expecting the gameplay to be immaculate, but it did a solid job for what it was. I know Lily doesn't post online anymore, but I hope she's doing well, and I look forward to any future projects. Alright, let's not beat around the bush here. You're here for some .exe games, and by golly, do I have them for you. Kind of. I mean, this next game is a ROM hack, but it has .exe in the name, so it kinda counts. I don't even know why it would do that, but I guess .exe has a way nicer sound to it than .z64. Wait a second, Mario.z64 sounds way more terrifying than .exe. What the fuck? Bup.exe64. That sounds like something my comment section would call me. It's a Mario 64 ROM hack made by The Nail for the Simple Flips Creepypasta competition back in 2019. I'll just say it now, this isn't good. It's not supposed to be good though, as it is a joke game. I mean, it's called Bup.exe. Were you expecting something serious? Funny thing though, this wasn't the only Bup-themed horror game in that bunch, as there was also one for the competition called Bup 64. I had actually heard of that one before, and decided to talk about the one I hadn't, and that might have been a mistake. But since I am literally the Bup guy, how could I not talk about a Bup-themed horror game? If you're unfamiliar with what the Bup meme is, it's basically Toad, specifically this picture, saying the word Bup. It's really not that funny. But it was pretty popular in the 2010s, and the streamer Simple Flips was part of the reason for that. In fact, it was so popular that a certain high schooler you may know decided to base his entire internet presence off of it. I didn't even watch Simple Flips, I just thought it was that funny for whatever reason. On to the game. The game opens up like classic Mario 64, except that Peach warned you about entering the castle, especially interacting with Toad. Mario is Mario though, and goes on ahead to her castle to see what's going on. Also, Lakitu just kinda wants to come with too. I get that he's technically forced to because of the whole camera mechanic, but I think it's sweet that he wants to help. Nothing's really out of the ordinary in the castle. Trying to interact with the doors will just tell you that you should talk to Toad. Talking to Toad, he asks Mario if he wants to see his secret little world. I'm, not sure if I want to see that, buddy. Oh, who am I kidding? Secret little world, here I come! Well, I mean, that wasn't very secret at all. You're now trapped in Toad's realm, standing on a wooden plank in a dark blue void, as merry-go-round plays in the background. Toad just wants to play though, so obviously you continue forward. With each pipe you enter, Toad has new dialogue. I agree, Toad, shit's kinda boring. What else you got for me? Alright, I mess with the floor, I can't lie. The floor, now draped in Bups, Toad asks if it's beautiful. I am literally the worst person to ask that question. I am so biased here. The next pipe leads to the same floor, but with Bowser and his minions impaled on giant spikes. Apparently, Bowser had attacked the castle, and Toad was one of the ones to kill him. Not sure how, but you know what? Props to him, that's impressive. Alright, I take those props back. The next area is much different, with the butt faces being all bloody and evil, and your friends are dead right in front of you. Oh, okay, that's why Toadsworth isn't in the games anymore. He's dead. Toad explains that he got the urge to kill after Bowser and went on a rampage murdering everyone. Yoshi, Peach, the King of Kings, and even Luigi. Unfortunately for you, Toad wasn't just satisfied with them, as when you approach the last area, it's your turn. Toad says that the only thing that can end his bloodlust is a sacrifice, and for the sake of the kingdom, it needs to be you. With Big Toad watching over you, you hop into the pipe, fall into the evil white square, and the screen fades to that bloody bup image. Or is he just really veiny? I mean, it makes sense. How else would he have killed Bowser if he wasn't jacked out of his mind? And that marks the end of bup64.exe, a short little romp that wasn't exactly good, but come on, I had to talk about it. There aren't many Toad horror games out there, let alone ones based on 6/12 of my name, so I wanted to talk about it. It also just goes to show the sheer variety of Mario horror content. We've come so far from Mario by executable file that we're starting to get some pretty out there concepts. Sure, it's not always great, this is a bad example because it's a parody game, but it really shows the creativity of this niche fan game scene. I love this game, and I hope it did well in the competition it was submitted for. Wait, only 8th place? Never mind, this game sucks. We don't tolerate losers on the Toadbup channel. If you remember my first Mario horror game video, or just know about Mario horror in general, then you probably know about the game Mario 85, also known as Mario PC port. Headed by Squishybox, it's a short little Mario horror game where you run away from Big Mario. This game absolutely blew up within the community, with the antagonist MX rivaling the popularity of Sonic EXE these days. Mario 85 has gotten countless fan remakes, reimaginings, Friday Night Funkin' mods, and is still being worked on to this day. This game made a huge impact on the creepypasta community, and one of my favorite things to come out of it was Fallen Kingdom, a Mario PC port retake. Fallen Kingdom, yes, it's like the silly Herobrine song, ha ha ha, I jump off the castle, I'm Jordan Marin, born February 10th, 1992, ha ha ha. It was made by Marco Antonio in February of 2024, who you may know for his FNAF fan game called Freak Show. And probably nothing else. Fallen Kingdom takes the concept of Mario 85 and reimagines it as one of those random bootleg Mario games you download online or see Vinesauce play on stream. I've said it before, I fucking love when games mimic bootlegs, and this was no exception. The game is forcing you to play it in a window, and trust me, that is for a reason. The title screen is reminiscent of those old Russian Mario bootlegs. Why did all of those bootleg games have like an insane game over screen, by the way? I don't know where else I'd bring this up, so I mean, like, why'd they do that? Anyways, the game starts and everything is in Russian. Mario doesn't care though, he's just kinda happy to be there. The game's got the classic Mario All-Stars look, and you play as Luigi. You skip on through the classic 1-1 level we all know and love for about 5 seconds. Yeah, no, that's cool. I didn't want to sleep tonight anyways. After all, I've got to stay up late to learn Russian so I can understand the threat you probably just gave me. Everything gets scary fast, with the music slowing down and eventually fading once you reach the flagpole. If you've seen Mario 85 before, you probably know where this is going. Mario decides to talk with the player as he emerges from the castle, and I'm not really sure what he's saying, but according to this YouTube video translating it, he's just happy you found him. Now, I might just be a little paranoid, but I'm not sure how much I trust that statement coming from MX himself. After this though, Jumpman Mario leaves you with one final thought. Holy Holy shit, this dude's absolutely charging through. Get this guy out of a haunted exe file and into the goddamn NFL. A chase scene then occurs as Mario, or MX, or fucking Big Mustache, I don't know, bursts through the level chasing you down. Listen, I like the chase scene from the original Mario 85, except for the fact that it's annoying as hell to beat, but I think Fallen Kingdom just does it better. Is that an unpopular opinion? Am I gonna get kicked through a flagpole for saying that? There are just so many cool things going on here. The dancing text files around your screen, the window moving with Luigi, the amazing art in the background, and of course the absolutely incredible music that's playing. Like, this is actually, it's good, it's good. Also, while this level is challenging, it's also not too difficult. I know there's a hint of skill issue when it comes to me not being good at the original Mario 85, but this definitely feels more fair. I'm not sure what it is, but this took way less time for me to beat. Maybe Mario 85 just like conditioned me for this or something. The chase scene is pretty standard though. Jump over some gaps, you get the fake out Mario death and he goes wahoo, and then you eventually reach a pipe at the end of the map. Wait, what happened? Why did the game close? Is that Germa 985? The game crashes and Big Mustache appears on your desktop. He turns all sus and talks about how much fun he had playing with you. And apparently you set him free? And he's inside? Inside what? Jokes aside, this was genuinely scary the first time I witnessed it. I already knew that this was gonna happen on this playthrough, but it was still pretty unnerving. It's really cool to see a moment in a Mario horror game that actually kinda creeps me out. Outstanding use of fourth wall breaks from Marco here, and to top it all off, Mario drops your name and leaves. Unless the game doesn't actually read your computer name and the dev just put in his own. If so, huge props for making a scare for only us Marcos. That's actually kinda evil. And thus, Fallen Kingdom has come to an end. This is a great Mario horror game. Good graphics, great music, actually scary moments. Fallen Kingdom had so much going for it. And on top of all of that, the aesthetic of the bootleg Mario game was done great, even if it dropped the persona somewhat fast. If I had to critique anything, I wish this concept was explored as its own thing, separate from Mario 85. I feel like there's so much more potential with this art style and type of horror that could be explored beyond a remake of another game. Otherwise, this game was great. I'll be expecting Jur Mario to be on my computer forever now. I hope he likes Marvel Rivals. We're down to the last two games here, and this next one is yet another ROM hack. In fact, the creator claims this to be the first ever creepypasta Mario 64 ROM hack. Do I believe that? Well, I mean, I guess the tag creepypasta only has this game under it, so it's not only the first, it's the only one. I don't know if I believe that, but you know what? Sure, let's give it that. Special for you is another Mario 64 ROM hack made by Frike the Dragon. They left ROM hacking altogether pretty soon after, and very much denounced the scene to this day. Well, like 2015. I mean, nothing wrong with not wanting to be associated with parts of your past anymore, but it's a tad silly to claim that ROM hacking is illegal. Distributing ROMs is illegal, but making patches isn't. Also, getting this hack to run was a pain in the ass. I tried all sorts of different patch methods and, Mario 64 playing methods to get this to run. I ended up having to use software from 2016. That was by far the scariest part of this whole game. Anyways, enough rambling, let's get right into the game.
It's me, Mario.
Well, 3 seconds in and it already made me jump. That's gotta be a world record. Everything starts off pretty standard. Head to the castle, jump into the Bob-omb painting, and do the classic Koopa the Quick race. It doesn't matter if you win or lose though, because either way, when you talk to him after, the scary part begins. Koopa exclaims that he's in a hurry and then shouts, "Ow, let me go." I'm a little confused by all this, but I'm sure hitting this purple button will explain it all. Wow, I guess Mario really was hurting Koopa, because after pressing the button, you're put in a giant cage. This isn't even a creepypasta anymore, this is just Mario going to jail for assault. You can grab a vanish cap to escape the bars, but you need to book it fast to the next set of bars before the hat runs out. Otherwise, the cap will run out and you're just kinda stuck in this valley area and forced to restart. And you don't want to be stuck here, because lurking in the distance is a shady, shadowy man watching your every move. Okay, he's actually just a retextured tree, which makes it like 10 times funnier. Unless he isn't a tree, in which case Mario just celebrated getting out of prison for assault by then assaulting another person. If you manage to make it past the other sets of bars to a pipe, you're now on like a basketball court. This is just a normal ass neighborhood. They finally made Mario in real life. Head down this road into a tunnel where a strange door awaits you. You can make your way through this weird amalgamation of rooms, using the vanish cap to travel between them. Eventually, you come across a child Koopa's bedroom, where of course, you can stomp the shit out of the Koopa. Hey, it may be a creepypasta, but Mario still got a job to do, alright? The kids' room leads into another kids' room, where more Koopas lay down sleeping. These weird posters line the wall, with eyeballs on them reading, "Special for you." I missed it in my playthrough, but you can also find this clipboard reading about the death of someone's son on their own bed, apparently by suffocation. The clipboard makes sense though, as you go through another door into this abyss. The area is lit with nothing but signs as you're forced to move forward and read them. This is where you get the story of what happened. A father recounts about how he misses his son dearly, about how his mother doesn't understand his suffering. The father has been watching the son, and he heavily implies that he's planning to end his son's life as he ends his speech with, "My friends and I have agreed that you should stay this way forever. We have to do something special for you." You know, this would be a lot scarier if I didn't just climb that guy like a tree. Eventually, as you walk to the final sign, you fall through the floor into an absolutely stunning young man and die as Mario screams out in horror. No real ending after that. In fact, you could do it again. Special for You was definitely a different type of Mario creepypasta game, especially for its time. I mean, nowadays you see the themes and use of family in a lot of Mario horror games, but I feel like this was one of the first ones to do it. I do appreciate the weird haunted vibe that the first part of this game has. The unexplainable areas you explore, including that weird basketball court, were really well done. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole "I killed my son" plotline, but it's not the worst thing ever. Overall, this is just an alright Mario ROM hack. Didn't do anything extraordinary, didn't do anything horrible. Middle of the road! Not that one, you don't want to go down that road. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the final game of the video. It's a daunting task of scares and horrors, a challenge so difficult that even the most seasoned Mario players struggle with it. It's the one, the only, mario.exe. Did you hear me right? I said mario.exe. Why aren't you scared? What's wrong with you? Released in 2018, this last game is titled mario.exe. But because 50 other games are called that, it's not referred to as such. From what I've seen, most people call this game mario.exe a Y, as a Y was the creator. This actually isn't the first time I've covered one of their games. I talked about their game Super Mario Bros. 2.exe over 5 years ago in my first ever horror video. Poor child, had no clue he'd have to play mario.exe almost 6 years later. The game opens up in a bedroom for some reason. Unlike a lot of other Mario horror games, this doesn't take place in a Mario game. The whole premise is that you're this weirdo who lives in a house with nothing but a TV, a computer, and a bed. You can interact with both your TV and computer, but they're pretty much useless. After sleeping like 10 times, you eventually get sent a message on your computer containing a Game Jolt link. Listen, if I know anything about Game Jolt from 2018, you should not download that shit. I then proceeded to download that shit. Oh wait, it's nothing bad. Just some classic stretched out Mario Bros. Walk to the right for a bit, encounter a giant brick wall, and then walk back to the start. And then walk back again to the wall. I miss having games with actual gameplay. Eventually, Mario stops on the pipe, becomes all evil, and then this astounding jump scare happens. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. Maya Angelou. Yeah, this weird-ass Mario image is without a doubt the most popular thing to come out of this game. This image is downright terrifying. Who decided to give Mario Snow White chompers, and why is he chomping them at me? Anyways, avoid a few black clouds, get attacked by the black clouds anyways, and you're back in your room. See, I'm not the only one disturbed by that toothy son of a gun. Going back to your computer, you can now play as Luigi. Walk to the right up some stairs, and Mario goes on the attack. Wait, no, you might actually wait, no, never mind. Pretty sick trick shot though. Nice push, Mario. Real life Mario jump scare, and it's back to the room. This time you're not alone because some dude in a surgical mask is now giving you medicine? Is this game killing me? Dying to Colgate commercial Mario has to be the worst way to go. The last level has you play as Peach by this blue castle. It's not blue for too much longer though, as you get crushed by a giant squid. But hey, I'm definitely feeling blue after having to deal with this again, am I right? Right? God damn it, Mario took over my body and killed a man while I was waiting for you to laugh. The game ends on this screen with Mario heads and text that reads, "Bad end? There's a good ending?" Okay, I legitimately could not get it for some reason, but all the good ending is that you leave your room and kill the evil version of you. I'm confused. Was Mario already in real life? Was that an alternate version of me? I'm not sure. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that image anymore. God damn it! That marks the end of mario.exe a Y. I mean, it had some good things going for it. I like that the game took place outside of the Mario world. You don't see that done very often. I liked the Mario image. Well, more like I hated it, but I liked that they made me hate it. Yeah, that's all I got. This was a pretty standard EXE game. Walking simulator, blood and cheap jump scares, there's not much to say here. I just really wanted an excuse to talk about this game because I really wanted to put this face in the thumbnail. And with that, we finally hit the end of our Mario horror journey. I really like doing these kinda compilation videos, cause it gives me a chance to talk about these games that wouldn't fit into their own video. Oh well, they might, but then the video would be like 10 seconds long. But a lot of these games, especially when it comes to the star of Mario's game gallery, deserve time to shine in their own video. For every few bad EXE games out there, there's a really cool ROM hack or creepypasta game that breaks the molds of a typical Mario horror game. As silly as this sounds, I think Mario horror can just be considered its own genre of indie horror at this point. It's like a subgenre of a subgenre, but still, with games like Mario Dolor, My Mario Game, Call of Cthulhu, and so many more, it just deserves it. Mario horror has kinda been underlooked at times, and I'm glad with releases like Crucius Mortem and Mario 85 getting a wider audience, we're seeing more people talk about and play these games. I'm hoping that with this video, you'll go out on your own to look for cool Mario horror games, or even the ones that I've mentioned, and give them a try for yourself. Don't give anything admin access though. I think I accidentally did that for Mario 85. Oh my god, okay. Rule of thumb, never give any program you don't trust admin privileges. I mean, they can do anything with that, and I mean anything. Ugh, what feels like retro in my bloodstream?
So, you think you could just make fun of my game and get away with it? You even called me Big Mustache. That's just stupid. You're stupid and I hate you. Line up with that pole, Mushroom Boy. I'm gonna split you in half.
Guess there's only one thing I could do to stop you then, huh? Goodbye, Mario, Luigi Ghost, and yes, even you, Mario.exe. Yeah, that did absolutely nothing, but he felt so bad for me that he kind of just let me go, so there's that.
Getting fit and funky, is that your desire? Get down and boogie till you catch fire. Dance and shake the soul and makes you